What would happen to your business if you suddenly had to step away from social media? For Sheryl, a destination elopement photographer, everything came to a screeching halt after a health scare left her unable to keep up with Instagram. Inquiries dried up, bookings vanished. It was a harsh wake-up call. Her business relied solely on her ability to hustle. But instead of giving up, Sheryl made a bold move. She joined the Elopement Photographer Mastermind to learn how to market without social media. Fast forward to today, she's quit her Navy job, she's home with her sweet 3-month-old baby Theo, and she's still booking dream elopements in Italy, Switzerland, and Thailand, all without the Instagram grind. This is her story. Welcome to Stoked, the podcast that helps adventure elopement photographers hit six figures and beyond in their businesses without hustling on social media. I'm your host, Megan McPhail, a former burnt-out emergency veterinarian that quit my hard-earned career to become an elopement photographer. Now I'm living a life I absolutely love, full of travel, adventure, and financial abundance, and I am hell-bent on helping you do the same. Are you ready to start booking out your calendar with dream couples in breathtaking locations and feeling genuinely stoked about your elopement photography business, life, and bank account? Then let's dive into this week's episode. Hey, it's your host, Megan McPhail, and today I have a super special guest, Sheryl Acuna. She is a destination elopement photographer based in California, and I can't wait for you to hear her story. I think everybody can relate. So welcome to the podcast, Sheryl. I'm so happy to have you here.
Hi, Megan. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to talk because we haven't talked for a while because you've been on maternity leave with your sweet little girl, Theo, who's 3 months old now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's just been so amazing. Oh, I love her so much. It's been so wonderful. I just love spending all this time with her and just like taking all the newborn cuddles and snuggles in.
And I loved when you were pregnant because you brought her to so many elopements with you. I mean, in your belly, but
I
you
know.
got to go
I
to
was
all the
traveling with
elopements.
her before I even knew I was pregnant with her. She got to go to
Oh,
Switzerland and Italy and the Redwoods and Yosemite. Yeah, it was epic.
what a lucky little baby. So let's kind of go into the beginning of your story because you were in the Navy. You didn't just pop out as a destination elopement photographer. You had a full-time job up until you left it for maternity leave, right?
Yeah, I was in the Navy for 8.5 years, just left in January, and now I'm a full-time elopement photographer.
That's so awesome. And so how did you get into elopement photography in the first place?
So I've always loved traveling and documenting my adventures. So I would take pictures and then edit them on Lightroom Mobile. And then I think my husband saw how much I loved documenting my adventures. So for my birthday, he bought me my first Sony camera in 2018. And it was a Sony A6000. And I learned how to edit raw images through Lightroom from there on. And then I would just post them on social media. And I would also use my camera to kind of photograph ship events, so like ceremonies as well. So people were seeing my work at the time. And then I had a friend reach out. She's like, "Hey, do you mind taking my elopement photos?" And I was like, uh, sure, just a heads up, I've never done this before.
Mhm.
But I was so excited. And she paid me $200. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then it came to a point where more people are asking me to take their photos, and people are like, "Why are you essentially doing this for free?" And I was like, "I have no idea." So then I started my business in October of 2022, and it kind of just went off from there. And I had my first adventure elopement that following year in Mount Rainier National Park. And it was just so epic because before that, all I would do was the standard traditional wedding, which was great and fun at the time because I was just getting started. But when I was introduced to adventure elopements, I just fell in love with it so quickly because I didn't know that it could be possible that you could do what you love, which for them was hiking, and invited who you love, who was just like their close friends and family, and have this epic special day. And I was like, wow, this is not following the standard wedding timeline. And we're going on hikes to this amazing lake, and we're hiking up and doing lantern photos by Mount Rainier. And it was just so special. And I left that elopement with such a high, and I was like, I want to do this forever.
Yeah. It's so amazing, right? Like, when you find that you, like, get that feeling, you're like, "This is what I wanna do." It's such a
Right.
special feeling. So, you had that experience in Mount Rainier, and then you did start booking elopements because you joined us in the Elopement Photographer Mastermind, but you did start booking elopements before you even joined. So, some people would be like, "Well, what do you need the mastermind for if you're already booking elopements?" But we should tell that story because I think a lot of people will relate to how you are hustling on Instagram for those bookings.
Yeah. So let me start off by saying that I was hustling like crazy on social media. Megan is not lying. I felt I felt obligated, and I'm using that word because I truly did not want to be doing this every day, but I felt obligated to post every day on social media. And it caused so much anxiety, but for me, it was the only way I was getting my inquiries. So if I didn't post, I wouldn't get the inquiry. So I just kept on going. And for me, I knew at one point that it was unhealthy behavior when I had spent 8 hours on one post.
Mm.
Just one post. I know.
And you're working a full-time job while you're doing
And I
this.
was, yes, and I'm working a full-time job, and I posted it and it flopped. And I was like, what was the point of that, you know? And
Yeah.
I would still keep doing that, and it was just so exhausting. And I continued that behavior up until New Zealand, where I was going with my husband on vacation for the holidays, and I was 8 weeks pregnant. I had announced it to my friends and my close family, and we were just so excited. And yeah, what we didn't know though was that it was unfortunately an ectopic pregnancy, and it had ruptured while we were 2 hours from any type of medical facility. And by the time we got to medical help and I got medevaced by helicopter to a hospital where they could do emergency surgery, I had lost 3 liters of blood. I'd had major abdominal surgery, lost a fallopian tube, and lost my baby, unfortunately. And during a major traumatic event like this, you're not thinking about posting on social media. I was grieving the loss of a baby. I was healing physically and mentally, and posting was not on my mind. And once I left New Zealand and I had a chance to like reassess my business, the inquiries had gone completely silent because I was
Yeah.
not posting. And I had a huge reality check that I had put all my eggs in one basket. And I was like, I need to fix this. And I honestly did not know what to do. I was at a loss, and I was just scrolling on social media one day, and like a saving grace, I came across Megan's mastermind Instagram ad, and it said something along the lines like, "Are you tired of hustling on social media?" And I was like, "I am tired."
Yeah.
and
Heck
and
yeah,
I
you're
remember
tired.
reaching yes, I remember
Mhm.
reaching out to you that day, and you called me. We talked it over, and I was like, "What do I have to lose at this point? Like, I am desperate. I don't have any inquiries, and I need to get my business at a point of success before I leave the Navy. So I am going to invest into the mastermind." And it was the best thing I could have ever done for my business.
And I'm so sorry that you went through all that with your pregnancy and your baby and your health. And the last thing that you need to be worrying about when you're grieving and recovering from abdominal surgery and all that stuff is like, crap, I can't post on. I mean, you were probably thinking about social media while you were recovering and how your business was tanking. And I mean, I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. I mean, as messed up as that sounds, that's what I was focusing on top of grieving and healing. And that's not what I should be focusing on at all.
Yeah, exactly. So you joined the mastermind and I mean, how did that go for you? Were you scared? Were you terrified?
No, I was so motivated. I was so excited. First off, what grabbed my attention was you, Megan. Like, first, let me start by saying you are the kindest, sweetest coach
Mhm.
ever. But I was at first like so scared of you, and I was like, I need that, you know? Like, I can tell, like, she's the type of person that is just straight to the point, is no BS, and you better get your work done. And I was like, this is exactly the person I need. That is why I signed up. And then in regards to the mastermind itself, oh, it is so, so amazing. First off, the community is just awesome. You know, the saying, like, you should surround yourself with the people that you want to be. That is exactly what
Yeah.
the community is. I mean, you have a bunch of other elopement photographers that are willing to invest as much as they did into the business. And they're working hard as well to get to the point that you want to get to. So it's really nice having this community that is cheering you on, and you guys are all kind of going to the same goal. So it's really awesome. And everyone's celebrating each other's wins. It's like a safe space where you can ask questions without being judged. And it's not like those toxic Facebook communities where,
Oh, you ask a question and someone like jumps down your throat and like tries to
right,
shame you or something. Yeah.
right. Or they're like sending conflicting answers on a question that you're asking. You're like, okay, well, this is not helping me at all. So it's really nice to have that community. And then the second thing that I absolutely loved about the mastermind was the fact that it was so structured. Like, it provided you a clear path to success if you followed the steps that you, Megan, have laid out
Hmm.
and you put in the work. And for me, I really needed that because sometimes I have the mind of a goldfish and
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, at the time I was so easily distracted by like the next shiniest thing. I was like, okay, like
Hmm.
maybe if I change this font on my website, it will attract more couples. Or maybe if I wrote this nice little caption, it'll attract the right client. And it's like, no, like none of that is gonna work. None of that matters. And it was just nice to have a clear path to follow. So I really, really love
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad.
that.
So we walk you through all the steps. We're all about not hustling on social media. So we're teaching you, Google ads, Pinterest, SEO, and like your website and all that. When did things really start turning around for you and you started seeing wins inside the mastermind?
So I think when really started seeing wins was immediately after the portion where we fixed the copy on my website and then taking that and putting it into Google Ads. And at this time, like, I didn't even have my website revamped to what it is right now. And I was still getting like cool inquiries. I got my Almafi Coast inquiry from my old Pixie Set website.
Yeah.
So that goes to show how
Yeah.
much word, copy actually matters. So yeah, that's definitely when I started seeing wins.
Yeah. So you kind of went from like your business stalling out because of social media, leads dried out, and then you joined the mastermind. And like, what were some of the things that you were booking while you were in the mastermind? Because I remember you having some really amazing bookings.
Yeah. The big ones were Yosemite, Amalfi Coast, Redwoods National Park. I got Hawaii, Switzerland, and Italy as well.
I have exciting news. If you're ready to go all in on your dream elopement photography business, this is for you. Whether you're pivoting into elopements or you're already booking elopements but no business could be better, the Elopement Photographer Mastermind is officially open for applications. This is not just another course that leaves you guessing and collecting dust in your inbox. It's a fully immersive coaching experience with a proven roadmap that takes the guesswork out of scaling your business. You'll skip the wasted time, avoid the trial and error, and start seeing real results. We've helped photographers hit six figures, triple their prices, and book out their calendars and dream destinations, all without relying on social media hustle. And for those who follow the roadmap, our success rate is nearly 100%. Inside the Elopement Photographer Mastermind, you'll get unlimited coaching, personalized feedback, website audits, and direct access to a team of 8 industry experts. So you always know your next move, from marketing to pricing to elopement planning. Spots are limited, so apply now. It's free to apply, and we'll see if this is the right next step for you. Head to meganmcphail.com/mastermind to apply today. Dang.
All those epic wins.
Like, I'm jealous.
Thank you.
And your photos are amazing, so you deserve all of those wins. How many bookings do you have for 2025 right now?
So for 2025, I have 11. And it's crazy because I was like super motivated to get 20 or more. And I just realized, like, for me, having more elopements and weddings is not a win for me anymore. Like, that just sounds like more busyness for me, what that I could spend toward my baby girl. And a win for me is turning down inquiries
Yeah.
that I've been receiving. Like, I got one for Italy that I turned down this year. I got one for Mexico and Chile, and I got a lot more for redwoods as well. And I'm just turning them away because I want to focus that attention and time on my baby because these moments are fleeting.
Yeah.
She's not going to be this small ever again. So
Yeah. And they grow up so fast.
yeah,
Yeah. How many more are you gonna take this year?
my goal is 15, but I'm taking your advice and I'm only scheduling elopements in like the locations that I'm already traveling to because I don't want to travel any more than I have to. I think I went to Thailand for 9 days away from my baby. I was like, I don't want to do that again. So right now I'm scheduling elopements around my travel schedule.
That's so perfect. And the fact that you have that ability and you're saying no to things in like Italy, I mean, that's goals right there. Like
Right.
that's success for me right there is like being able to pick and choose the types of bookings and inquiries that you go for.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for you. Like, I have so much faith in my business right now because of the mastermind helping me get to where it is that I can take a step back from my business and be like, I'll be okay. I can turn down this inquiry. Like, another opportunity is going to come and it'll be okay. Like, spend time with your little girl. So it is a win.
Totally. And so what is life like for you right now? Because you are out of the Navy, you're not hustling on social media. So like what does life look like?
I am a new mother. So, I mean, it is beautiful and crazy and wild. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is absolutely hectic and stressful at times as well. But I'm just enjoying being a mom and working on my business when I want to. It is so nice to wake up in the mornings and spend time with my little girl and then work on my business for 3 hours and then spend more time with her. I could have never done that if I was in the Navy. I'd been at work all day, not have any control over my schedule. It's a totally different life, and I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, and this is like you came into the mastermind with this dream of having a life like this, right? Like you
Yeah.
worked actively to create this. I mean, we gave you the roadmap and the support and the accountability and all that stuff, but you did it, right? Which is so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I will start off by saying in regards to, like, being in the Navy while building up my business, the Navy was such a great experience. It was such an awesome opportunity. I made so many amazing friends. I got to do all these epic opportunities, like be a search and rescue swimmer or like drive warships that cost millions of dollars. But it came to a point where I was like, this is not sustainable. This is not the life that I want to live. I can't choose when I want to go on vacation. I have to like ask for permission to travel to these countries. And at some points it was like really toxic, unfortunately. And I just knew I wanted something different. And I had grown as a person and as a leader from those experiences. But for me, it was time to go do something else. And the Navy became a really helpful stepping stone into photography because I was able to, by staying in the Navy while building my photography business, I was able to take the money I was making from the Navy and invest it into my photography business to help it grow and get it to a point where it is now before I left. So I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah. So you built your business while working full time in the Navy. The goal was always to quit and be a mom and stay home with your babe. But like, what did it look like for you as you were in the mastermind building this part of your business and working full time? Because I get that question all the time. Like, how do I balance the mastermind with my job?
It was so crazy. I remember waking up at 4 a.m. to commute 1 hour to work. And then I would work out, have my full work day. and then I would wait at the office until sunset for my couples session or whatever photo shoot I was doing. And after I was done with that, I would drive another hour back home and stay up editing or working on my business. And I would just repeat that every day. And it was exhausting. And I was just hustling all the time.
Yeah, that's how I was too when I was working as an emergency vet. I was like working overnights, like barely getting sleep and then like blogging and editing on the side, it was
Yeah,
hard. But it's not hard forever, right?
right. And I think like you were at a point where because you were doing photography while you were an emergency vet. So like
Mhm.
you wanted out as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
So for
big time.
me, that was the huge motivating factor. I was like, girl, you better have this business up and running before you get out of the Navy. You want out of this, like, you better put in the work. So I was hustling, and that was a huge motivating factor. And now, like, now I can relax, and it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you sacrifice some time and sanity for a period of time, but then it all clicks into place and then you reap the rewards, right?
Right. It's so worth it.
Yeah. That's exactly I mean, I tell people all the time, it was awful when I was hustling back in the day, but would I do it again in a heartbeat? Heck yes,
Yes.
to like live the life I'm living right now. And I think the people who are not working full time and have more time to work on their business are also like, well, I don't have the money to invest in this and that. And then the people working full time, you guys have the money to invest in other things, but you don't have the time. So it's like there's no perfect way to do it. They're both hard in very different ways. So I'm sure there are photographers that are listening to this right now, and you're just dropping all these locations like Italy and Switzerland and Thailand and stuff like that. And they're sitting there like, oh my God, this is the dream, right? Like you are living the dream, going to all these destinations. There's tons of photographers out there that want to do the same thing. What advice would you give them?
So I would tell them that they can definitely do it. They just have to put in the work. In order for me to get to where I am now, I had to invest so much time and money into my business in order to build my portfolio and show these couples that I can travel to these locations. I do know what elopements are and that I could help them. Because a big thing with these destination elopements is that your couples, they have to trust you. They're
Yeah.
investing all this money in you to give them this awesome experience in a destination that they probably have not been to before.
Hmm.
And they're relying on you to give them location advice, give them vendor recommendations. And it's a really big deal. You have to put in the work.
Yeah, totally. A lot of photographers out there think that there's some kind of quick way to do this. Like if they just knew this secret strategy or this certain hashtag or whatever it is, but it does. It takes a lot of time and effort and action and going after something specific instead of just like you said letting something fall into your lap. And you've
Yeah.
done all of that work and now you are reaping the rewards. You're taking on 15 elopements a year all over the place. You're hanging out with your sweet little baby girl, and life is good, right?
Yeah, and I will also say, like, as an example, for my Thailand elopement, the thing that really had them book me was the fact that I'd been to Thailand before. I could tell that they were on the fence, and I was like, "No, I've been there before. I can help you guys get the luxury longtail boat. I know where to go for these awesome shots." And they automatically trusted me. And then
Yeah.
for Amalfi Coast, they originally wanted to have their elopement in one of the national parks, but then they were like, "Wait, like you've traveled a lot. We actually want to do an international elopement. Could you help us through that? Because we've never been abroad and we kind of need that guidance." So sometimes it doesn't really even matter if you've been to a place before, but if they've seen that you've traveled on your own all over the world and that you could help them, that will definitely be a huge help in booking more destination elopements as well.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And they'll pay you the big bucks too, right? If they trust you and you're going to make this less stressful for them to accomplish this huge momentous occasion, eloping abroad, like they will pay you the big bucks, right?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really where it's at, building that trust, showing them the photos, having traveled before and connecting with them, and I love all of that. Your life is so cool. Okay, so
Thank you, Megan. Yours is
so
too, honestly.
yeah. Just in different ways. So what would you tell people, because you're one of our mastermind members and we're in the middle of a mastermind launch right now. So what would you tell people who are on the fence on whether or not they should apply or join the Elopement Photographer Mastermind with myself?
You should have signed up yesterday. And if you haven't, sign up as soon as possible. It will literally change your business and change your life. The mastermind is so incredible. And I am forever grateful for the mastermind because my business would not be where it's at today if it wasn't for Megan and the rest of the team in the mastermind. So go sign up now.
But okay, so let me ask you though, because I hear all the time that it's life changing. Like, what does that mean for you that it changed your life? I can like post, that Sheryl booked this much amount and she's going to Thailand and stuff like that. But what do you mean by life changing?
I mean, it's the fact that I don't have this anxiety and all my thoughts towards social media anymore. Like, I feel like I have my life back. I don't think people realize how much my mind revolved around social media and making sure to get that post that might go viral to get more inquiries and more followers. It just took up so much mental energy. And now being at a place where like I can just scroll for fun and not really care about posting is just such an amazing thing. And then the other life changing part was that my business is now at a place where like I left the Navy and I'm okay with that. When I was in the Navy, I had no control over my schedule. I couldn't plan out vacations months in advance because we wouldn't know what the ship's schedule was. I just felt so restricted in the things that I wanted to do. And I was just living a life that I wasn't fully happy with. And the mastermind gave me the opportunity and the freedom to reach my life goals. And I'm so grateful.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's everything. You got to create what you wanted out of your business and your life, and you got to go for it. And now you feel confident and you have your own version of success, which is staying home with your baby and, traveling for cool stuff, but only if it fits in your schedule. And I think that's really freaking powerful.
Yeah. And the thing that you mentioned, another version of success that is also very life changing for me is that I come from a family where my parents are immigrants. So for them, like, it's really important to their version of success is you're either a lawyer, you're a doctor, or you're a military officer. And I felt so stuck to stay in one of those identities. And I just felt like it really wasn't me. And for a long time, my parents were like, "Are you sure you just don't want to do photography as a side hustle?"
Hmm.
And I was like, "No, this is something amazing and I want to show it to you guys that there's other forms of success." And by showing them that I can build my own business and that success is not just like working hard and having these titles, but it's also having the freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want and still bring in the money and still have the big thing is like have more time for yourself and your family. That is success for me. And I
Yeah.
think they see that now and they're just so proud of me and I'm just glad that I could change their perspective on what success means. So that's another life changing.
That is really life changing because I have
Yeah.
coached several children of immigrants, and being able to like be like, no, I'm really pursuing photography is first off brave as hell for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, super courageous to like kind of go against what you've been brought up to, like, again, you're saying like military, doctor, lawyer, like that's what is expected and ingrained into you. And to go against that and then create this powerful business where you're actually not working all the time
Yeah, I
and have your
know.
parents be like, actually, this is really great. Good job. That is really impressive.
And they're hyping me up on social media. They're posting on my like posting comments on my pictures.
Mhm.
And I remember getting a message from my parents saying like, "Wow, your work is really good. We are so proud of you." And
Oh,
I remember like crying because it was just such a huge deal, you know? For a long time I went back and forth like, is photography really the right course for me? Like, I don't know if I can get it to a point where it's successful. And the mastermind helped me get to that point. And I don't know. It's just been so amazing. And I'm so grateful.
oh, well, I miss you in there.
I know. I know. I was talking to one of the girls in the mastermind yesterday. I was like, I miss it. And she's like, well, you can come back. I was like,
Yeah.
I know. I think I might.
Yeah. You're welcome anytime. We will love to have you. So, Cheryl, where do people find your website and your social media so they can check out what you're up to?
Yes, my website is sherylannephoto.com and my Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok is sherylannephoto.
Love it. Yeah. Anybody listening should definitely check her out. Her photography is gorgeous. She's going all over the place. And you do still show up on social media, but I know you do it more for fun now. And I love your story. I love the ending. Now I have goosebumps.
I know I
and
started tearing up at the
I
end.
I know. I'm so proud of you. And yeah, I just know you're going to continue to do great things. And I'm just so happy about the life you're living. And say hi to Theo for me.
Thank you, Megan.
And we will talk to you guys next week. See you later. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's episode of Stoked. If you enjoyed the show and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. If you're looking for more inspiring elopement photography content, check us out on Instagram at Megan McPhail. And if you'd like to hear more about my business coaching and how I can personally help you hit six figures as an elopement photographer, then check out my website at www.meganmcphail.com.